doing, I've got I've got my doors open for a specific someone who I've been wanting probably for a year or two to bring. He's very eager to be here, and his name was, when he was here, Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce, please bring message. Andrea, I am delighted. Delighted for your sparing me none but invitation. I shall suit it as grand. Well, I'm glad. That's awesome. What, nobody brings you in anymore, or what? He says, I've brought in, but the majority of my time has been spent bringing in messages for you. So it is quite a twirling delight when I am invited to bring message for you. Right. Of your own. Andrea, go ahead with what you were going to say. Well, Edgar Cayce was phenomenal in in the information that you brought back. You were, and I don't have to be a part of that university because I don't think I'll ever pass the bar to get in. And even if I did have access to your readings, Cayce, there's so many that are gone. They're just gone. The ones that would really have made a mark on our society, on our lives today. He said you hit that one out of the ballpark. Yeah, you've mentioned that before in a reading I was doing, where you came in just for a short time. He's strong. Edgar Cayce is strong to validate for me when I say so much of the gold was put to the bottom of the sea. He's saying the Sea of Galilee, which is like associating so much truth that's been hidden from us. So what do you got for us, Edgar? My name is Cayce. Edgar was my first name. They all knew me as Cayce. I was retired as soon as a first case was given me. As soon as he was realized. What do you mean you were retired from your normal job? I was retired from what I desired. It happens to all of you guys. Andrea, you're right. I was very much tapped, wired to one sound, which could only be in the divine. And from where I brought message, could be nothing in existence containing any kind of lie. I had the truth. He's saying he regrets bringing it down for those that hit him below the belt. The truth in my ears will always echo for its, what is the word, reverence be found. He's trying to, it's not vibrate, that is not the word, it's not, I don't know, I can't say that word, hon. Andrea, it'll be all right. We can discover more of the truth from me that they regulated to hide. In other words, there was no choice. So Casey, this is what I know. I don't care what the books say, and I don't care what the articles say. I don't care what any kind of documentary says about you. I already know. Just like Tesla was a free man. Well, for pictures, he looked like he was a free man. He wasn't free. Neither were you. You were free to come and go from home to the office, but you were not free in anything that you did. And I'm sorry for that. They want to bind everyone that has anything that's of value. Whether that be cures, remedies, understanding, the bringing to a human being their knowing of their divinity. It's heartbreaking, Cayce. You don't mind if I call you, I have one of my really dear friends, his name's Casey, but I call him Cayce. That just kind of came out. Andrea, it is renowned for them always to flip the case. Once we were encased. Yeah, I'm sorry. Edgar, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Michelangelo, Da Vinci. There's so many. Tesla, there's so many. I can't name them all, and so I won't even try. But the prodigies, the ones that have, right down to Saint Valentine. Maybe not imprisoned in the dungeons below, but imprisoned in everything that they created. It was not theirs to show. It was always belonged to someone else the moment that they created it. Go ahead. He says, and is heaven bound. What do you mean by that? What Casey means by that is that no matter what they take away before the human can view it, it is always heaven bound. It goes back and it will come back around. They're insane. There are many tongues for the sitting, for the truth to be found. In other words, in today's world, there's a lot of channels, a lot of mediums. Andrea, you like perhaps prophet or scribe. And for those titles and your spirit delivering in the form of rhyme, you are well to suit as scribe. Okay. I feel like just love spirit. I love mankind. I think we're so much more. We're worth so much more. And Edgar, I've been talking this whole time. I'm going to start over and I'm going to let you bring message. He says, please don't unwind. Okay, go ahead. I was bound within the spell during my time. There was no soul for my bringing help. No matter how hard I tried each and every time. Go ahead. Andrea, the pile of my readings is a dump. It has been tossed, turned red, and labeled as junk. And it is for this that those words remain. And yet they took what was most valuable, but they stayed my name. They kept my name. Upon the heaps of in their minds, worthless trash. My workings, my treasure troves of what was brought through tongue from the divine. Never a merry maid it met. Under the medical mediums, he's telling me for the first time today, my eyes ever met that label, and a medical medium. There are so many out there receiving the remedies through and for this their tongues. We wish not lightly deliver to humanity just one. Where one matters, so does everyone. If you are not on the haystack, then you shall find yourself a needle in between. Of significance to none. And for it, the eye of the needle cannot be placed within its string. I know that rhymed and stuff, Edgar, but Andrea, we aren't divine. Go ahead. for all of the buried evidence of it through time, it is not stationed in our minds that we are divine. And our divinity is met with every... Go ahead. With every human being to ever take a breath. And for so many of us souls who have brought message for you, their finding hasn't been met, meaning they spent their lifetimes bringing message to us, and yet in our whole lifetimes we'll never receive it. And well, I'm telling you right now, Edgar Cayce, Alex Ferrari's gonna blow the roof off of it. He's gonna blow some stuff up. He is. And I just couldn't be more excited. And for the first time ever, like, I honestly believe that we will wake up. The majority of us, or the salt of the earth, 5% of us will wake up, and that's all that's needed to change the rest. Alchemize. Go ahead, Edgar. I took over on that. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Edgar. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing that. You have to speak louder. He says, Andrea, I am ahead of the polish. For my knowing of what will be. And yet through the determined hearts and lives of the few of thee, I mentioned for the future, known him, known me, be hailed, be reined back, be pulling, he's yanking on the reins, like, let's stop, let's stop, this deserves a stop. It is humanity. Yeah. Edgar, the number one, while I have you, the number one killer in at least the United States is heart disease. The second one is lung disease. The third one, I don't know what it is. Probably diabetes or cancer. I think probably cancer. The active will is number 3. Heart disease. Tell me what is taking our hearts? What is killing? What is wearing out the muscle of the heart? It's elasticity, because that's what heart disease is. It loses its tightness. It can't pump when a loose ribbon. It can't do it. What is doing that? How? Andrea, it is for you of this glass. I shall deliver for all to see. He's going to pour that remedy or the truth in a glass now, guys. A see-through glass, like a wine glass or brandy sniffer. He's saying it is far safer for it to be glass than unsafe by any other means. Any plastics and tins and Andrea, in the heart, the elastic. Are you saying elastic? Go ahead. Andrea, it is within the heart that he wants us to see. I want you to see inside the heart, Andrea, with me. For our burying columns, breaking gates. He's saying breaking gates down to get to the real problem. Yeah, I love that. Andrea, for your hearts, for your heart in the receiving of a heart's disease, we shall render it being the cause of us eating. Are you saying eating wheat? Is that what you just said? Andrea, wheat has a barley of its own. Christ, meaning it has a barley of its own. It has its Andrea, barley is a malignancy. Is that what you're saying? Andrea, it is a malignant seed. It harbors for its seed surviving something only for the wheat to flourish and be. It is a reproductive system, sequence, or Andrea, it is a metaphor. I can't say that. It is a morphing of its own seed for the harboring of it, for it not ceasing to be a viable seed. So there's a coating, kind of like Elvis Presley. He took barbiturates and stimulants. He did, like regular, like he was on a doctor's schedule, and he was 2 weeks shy of having his valves replaced because it wasn't the drugs, it was the capsule, what it was made of, that was lining his walls. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's wheat, you guys. Go ahead. Andrea, for you, your mind unknowing of the wheat, of the structure of wheat, in a chemical, and he's talking about like deep science. I don't know. I do understand though how any parent or anything that wants to reproduce is going to can and will provide the best protection for its own. He said in you're now willing or able to see. He's saying I've just parted all the clouds. I don't have to understand it to trust it, right? Says Edgar, and Oro is now your wheat. Okay, I know there's Oro wheat, right? It's a company. Oro wheat. They own all the seed. It coming from their plant, meaning their grown crops and their factories. Wheat. We've been told it's been good for us for so long. Andrea, not one. Go ahead. Not one digesting of wheat. Shall anyone find their health later to be in the, even on the level of the healthy scene? Wheat. I don't know. I don't know. There's gluten and all of that, but I know that when I eat anything nowadays, pasta, potato chips, but pasta, bread. There's not one bread that I've eaten that I don't taste this. It's just fake. Edgar, I remember I was born in the 70s, early 70s. So I remember in 1976, makes me 5 years old, watching, you used to go outside and play, but the corner of the sandwich that we'd throw on the ground, the ants would just swarm all over it. And we spent a lot of our playtime outside watching the ants, just fascinated. How black a little corner of a piece of bread can get and how fast it can. And now I have not seen. I remember when the birds used to hang out at McDonald's because they would eat the fries or whatever was left on the ground, or you could throw fries and they'd come get them, and that was fun. They don't touch the fries now. Birds won't touch the fries. They won't touch anything that comes out of that restaurant. They don't eat, and it's incredible that way. I know that I'm just now learning that, like vegetable oil, these things are really, really bad for us. Soybean oil, what? It is a killer amongst us. Soybean oil is thrust at almost level with the wheat, with the Oro wheat, it being fed us, being handed us. We as beggars shall not carry our plates. In other words, if we cut wheat out of our diet, heart disease would, he says, it would cease. Do they know? Do they know that it's wheat? He's all, come on, Andrea, do I see? Does Edgar Cayce see? Yeah, he does. So, yeah, they know. They fill their pockets, their fists, with our heart's disease. Interesting. I just know that, like, when you buy wheat bread, it's just as bad for you as the bleached flour or wheat. It's all bad. And our white bread does encase within it the seed. The seed. It's just as bad. Well, what kind of bread? Andrew, there's rice. He's saying there are many other. Go ahead. Golden leaves. He's saying there's other. He said, and go ahead, Andrew. There's other oats from other trees. It is laying. He says, I am laying down for you a crop circle upon your wheat, for you're not ingesting anything of it. Anything that grows within that circle, crop circle of wheat. In other words, any field where you have not put your feet, they're not safe. Oro, he's saying Oro wheat has the bit. Talking about the horse's bit and nails between their teeth. The bit and the nails. Wow, that's the nail in the coffin, and the bit meaning you don't have a choice. That's incredible. Andre, we ate well. Be of No, wheat. Like, so before wheat came about, they did the we ate of better treats. He's saying from our golden fields. Okay. So basically, when you say you don't eat anything that where you have not walked, used on the ground of where it comes from with your feet, like until you are. Andrew, it is for the shelves of bread to not to be swept, to echo for their bareness, for the stopping, the ceasing of the widow on her knees. Wow. So it's wheat. We all eat wheat. It's not like I can't even deny that. We all eat wheat. He says that wheat will take hold of your heart and bring it to be weak. It takes the elasticity out of our pump, so to speak, right? So to speak, he says. Thank you. I feel like that was all of it, but okay, what was the second one? Was lung disease. It is for lung disease is for our misunderstanding of how we breathe. We do not ingest the breath. And for it, there is disease. He's saying we are weak for expanding of our lungs. For it's not, they're never, we never inflate them enough for anything, any kind of air to try to seep out, like any kind of leak. Like, we don't put pressure. We don't. We're very shallow breathing creatures, aren't we? You inhale in bits, not heaps. And for it, your lung will break down. Wow. Expanding in the lung for anything upon it to break free. So when you expand it, anything that shouldn't be there cracks off of it. It's how it sheds of itself what's not good, what's not there or meant to be. Andrea, the breath of life is in your breath too, and each and every one of you. For all of the shallow breathing that you do, it becomes the disease in your lungs for you. For you're not in your mind expanding your lungs as they are built to do. Interesting, man. He's realizing that I'm thinking that, there's chemtrails, there's cigarettes, there's factories, there's God knows what all else we're breathing every time we inhale. He says there are these factors also. But staying to what is true for the most reveal of what is true, for your lungs gathering they're dying too soon, it shall be for lack of the breath in you. Beautiful. I mean, well said. Wow. On that note, I'm going to roll this cigarette. Go ahead, Casey. Cancer. It's, you think, I always thought it was the number one killer, but the cancer runs in my family, and so does lung failure. Not really heart, though. Not really heart disease, or if they had it, that's not what took them out. Cancer, Andrea. Now of cancer we shall see. He's showing me inside of a tunnel, like a fallopian tube or something. He says it is the pumping place for you and me, in our arteries and our veins. Andrea, it first finds in there a bit of knowing that it can survive in there. As it travels, as it pumps itself around within our yolk, it's ours. Andrea, it is our yolk. And it is traveling through our bloodstream, looking for its place to post up. Andrea, we extend to cancer for its place to remain, like its camping space, like you would prepay for a camping spot for a weekend or whatever. Andrea, we as the host pay the most. Our detriment is not for the cancer's end, meaning we are so much more, our lives are so much more important than the keeping alive of the cancer that wishes to invade and dwell within our yolk. Your mortal body, Andrea, a Christ figurine, has no business or outcoming for the hosting of the cancer seed any more than the seed of the wheat. So how are we, how does it even come into our, I mean, I don't know. How do we prevent cancer? Or no, we all have it, I think now, but how do we eradicate it? How do we evict it? No more camping in this camping spot allowed. Andrea, cancer is an alkaline thing. It strives on any acidic imbalance that you bring to your body. You bring acidic imbalance. I'm sure. Oh my gosh, our diets, we are lacking so many things. Even the vitamins. Good luck trying to find vitamins now. Andrea, you shall liken alkaline to be a string, okay? It is a string upon for nothing. Of your health. Could it bring, meaning high out, what is causing us to be, what is it, alkalized? Or the alkaline measures are high. And we in the higher realms are telling you why. And it is for your still not knowing of it that our hearts do cry. As you remember, or as you recall me mentioning to you, Andrea, in the beginning, in the highest realms, the energy here cannot provide the alkaline atmosphere for a lie. And it's why you would understand this if you tried, if you really wanted to know why. Andrea, alkaline bakes us. As can and will the sun in the sky, our skin. And it is for its rooting deserts. It is for high alkaline to exist in places within our body or in our body, period, for a long enough time to where it expands. There's a lot, there's plenty of camping dens. What's causing that? What's causing it is there is no cooling of it. There's no water putting out that fire. Why not? And he's like, he didn't hear that. He's like, you did not just ask me that. Why not? Because they don't want us to have it. What puts the fire out? Andrea, within the skin you're in. Your instinct, your gut is fortified to know. of what it is that you add to water and drink. He's saying I'm not as consistent as I should be with it, but it is allowing for a balance to flow, and that's I do baking soda. I will I'll put a teaspoon in just a juice glass of water, a little short glass of water, and drink it. Sometimes just in the morning, sometimes morning and night, or sometimes just at night. If I go 4 or 5 days, I start to panic. Like I need to get my baking soda in me, and I'm not sure why, but I it's an instinctive thing that tells me that's the closest thing to gold is I'm gonna get from my body. And it is your contender for the alkaline. That's good to know. So we need to cut off the wheat. I can't even imagine how many things have wheat in them. I do remember this. My friend Blue's mom, she's straight out of Germany. When she was young, she remembers standing in line during the reign, Hitler's reign, for 3-4 days just for some bread, you know. But she I went to the store with her for the first time. She's an amazing cook. And I said, okay, well, I'll meet you up in the front. And it was like, she came and got me in like 10 minutes. I was down some aisle, and I go, you're done already? She goes, there's nothing else for me to see here. She said, if it's not on the walls, on the 3 walls, which is meat, dairy, and produce, she goes, all that other stuff, there's nothing in it. You know, there's no food in that. There's nothing good in that. And I was just like, it's so true. It's so true. Andrew, we've broken not even a flake of a layer or a sheet or a surface of ice, and yet it's been an hour, and yeah, he's realizing I'm overwhelmed. I am just flabbergasted. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that wheat was in your earlier readings when you were alive. I know that it was. And he says yes, and that did not survive. Shit. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Hope. Andrew, for those curious to have the value for it being my eyes, in other words, to validate for anyone questioning if it's Edgar Cayce, which I will tell them, when the darkest days for me had been sunk, he loaded his, he's saying razor, he had a motorcycle or some kind of machine, and he left. Like, he's saying something about a razor, and I'm not gonna get it. It's time to break. Case. If they don't believe it, they don't have to believe it, you know? I'm blown away. Thank you so much. Are you going to come back? He says anytime, any day. Whenever you're willing to make way, I will. Edgar Cayce, guys. That was pretty cool.